Right, hello. This is much more the average winter's day we have in the UK. Grey, overcast and cool. So I'm guessing the temperature is, I don't know, I feel of it maybe 7-8 degrees max. Not cold, but cool and damp and grey. But I thought while I was looking around to have a little walk around the garden, we'd have a look at the carnivorous plants, because we didn't really speak about, well, I certainly don't speak about much on here. They're just something in the background which I do enjoy, but obviously not looking their best this time of year. So there's a purpurea there which has still got a good amount of colour in. I think this is just some sort of Sarracenia hybrid, which one of the pictures is still looking okay. Obviously these are totally hardy. I think hardy down to about -15 or even lower. And I never remember this is called a sundew or honeydew, but that's another carnivorous plant with the sticky droplets on the leaves which curl up around the insect fly, whatever's landing on it. So yeah, basically most of the carnivorous plants, I do absolutely nothing. You know, we have cold, wet winters, so they don't dry out. They just sort of slowly die off, and obviously in the spring we just chop off the old pitches and let it regrow. Like I say, the purpurea is not looking too bad. There's a few sort of dead bits on the pitches, but a lot of them are still, like they're pushing out new ones, looking quite good. Look at the old fish sulking at the bottom of the pond at the minute. That is about 4.5 foot deep. They're all sitting on the bottom. I'll try not to disturb them. Right, let's have a look at the other carnivorous planter. So again, we've got a small Sarracenia in this one. Another Sundew, honeydew, question mark. Guess that they do absolutely totally die off. You see the old seed pods from the flower spikes, so I'll cut them off in spring once you start seeing a new growth. And then we've got the Venus flytrap, which obviously you can see the old the old traps have died. So they've just totally died and shriveled up. You can see in the centre there's a couple of tiny little fresh new ones which they do put out a different leaf and trap during the winter. But I fully expect that to recover fully in the spring. In fact, this is only a little cheapy £4 one I bought, and I can see it's already, see at the side there's a little baby one there, so it's already starting to divide up. They do multiply. So yes, carnivorous plants, I guess if you want to keep them looking better, you could put them in the greenhouse or somewhere protected from frosts. I'm sure the especially the Venus flytrap would look a lot better, but I kind of let nature take its course. That is the way they grow. They do have a dormant period or adjustment period, so that doesn't hurt them at all. Another side note, this shows how hard the Cordelia australis is, due to the fact these have been out all winter in tiny little pots. These are seedlings, probably 2 years old, I don't know. Could do with potting up really, but these ones I sort of forgot about and not too concerned about. But yeah, sitting in a tray full of water in the frosts and pretty much unfazed, still fine. So again, that is a case of the environment they've been brought up in, so they're used to that. So they'll be really hardy plants when they get bigger. Yes, I have got a load of pots here. These are actually, what were they? I got them a couple of weeks ago when I was at the not supermarket, the garden centre. And you know, they're doing a lot of the pot recycling nowadays. You can turn up, and we've got a big bin where you can put your old pots in or collect recycled pots. So I got hold of a load of pots, always handy for potting up plants, and if you can find ones that are a bit deeper like them for the palm trees, that's even better. They're normally sort of rose pots, but they're ideal for palms for the deeper root system. So yeah, I always keep an eye out when I'm out and about. So yeah, again, no real sort of subject, just a little chat. New Trachycarpus question mark is not looking too bad. We haven't had any strong winds, but obviously we have had some frosts. A couple of fronds down, but I think that's where I dragged it and transplanted it. You can see there the gunner tucked under the old leaves. They're all starting to really dry out and decay a bit now, but hopefully in the next month we'll start seeing some new growth on them. And obviously, talking of gunner, I have got a pot of rhubarb, which I noticed was showing a little bit of growth. Let's have a little look. Yes, obviously rhubarb is a relative of gunner, and yeah, even in January we're starting to get signs of new growth. So I didn't harvest any rhubarb off that last year. It didn't grow very well, to be fair, but hopefully this year we'll get a bit of rhubarb. I do like a rhubarb crumble. I certainly will be glad to get to a point where we can remove some of these covers. I know they're functional, they're doing a job, but they are starting to annoy me a bit. Everything seems to be doing okay underneath them, especially in the arid bed. It's definitely doing a job, keeping things dry. Can't see any sign of anything wilting or rotting away, so that's good. So I'd imagine the temperatures aren't going to be in a position to remove these anytime soon, obviously. Last year, obviously, we had a really cold spring, or spring was very late, let's put it that way. So they stayed on longer than I would have liked. Hoping this year, in a general year, when we get an average sort of spring start, I'd imagine mid-April, I'll be confident to take all the overhead protection down. So a little look at the Bootia aerospatha. He's got a couple of spears there. Quite a nice greeny grey to that. See, quite a, they are called woolly trunked Bootia, so that is quite a lot of fibres on the trunk. Starting to kick in. Hopefully if we get a warm summer we'll get some decent growth out of that. So while we're on the subject of feather palms, let's have a look at the Power Torielia, which is the hardiest species of Jubea, or Power Jubea, I believe. The Torielia is the one that grows at the highest altitude, so it sort of should be the most cold tolerant of them all. And not looking too bad. Let's have a look inside here. Right, so we have got, I'd say maybe about a foot of trunk before we start seeing the pedioles. And there is how many. It's hard to say when I open up spears. This may be, that's just the one spear there. And we've got 2 and a third coming there, so there's 3 fronds there waiting to come out. It has been moving slightly over the winter. Obviously not totally dormant, but obviously not in full growth either, so hopefully again if we get a warm summer I'll hope to get a bit of height on that. Right, I think that's enough of rambling. Again, I'm happy to do a video on any specific plant, or any, you know, if you've got a particular problem plant that you see I've got, and you know, I'm happy to, I won't say give advice as such, but I mean just let you know how I've dealt with things, and how, you know, I'm always reluctant to say this is what you should do, but I can tell you what I do, and if it works, you know. Right, let's leave it there. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.